Hello and what's up? I'm 3D. This is Tales from the Driver's Seat. Let's just rock this bitch as is. So, updates on things going on. There are now 2 podcasts for a couple of reasons. First of all, we had been toying with the idea of bringing the Intoxication Nation back from the dead. However, with that comes a couple of complications. First of all, the name Intoxication Nation may need to be rebranded because shortly after we stopped doing the online radio show in 2011, it turns out that somebody copyrighted the words Intoxication Nation as part of a longer phrase. It was basically for a Mardi Gras party back in 2011, so it was really, really weird that somebody would copyright that as part of that. So I don't know if perchance that I can't just use the Intoxication Nation since it's just 2 words out of that whole phrase, or if I would have to buy the copyright, or if it would just be easier to either seek permission or just change the name altogether. So that's where I'm at on that. If you know anything about copyright law, hit me up. I'd really like to pick your brain. All I wanna do is pick your brain. I've got some questions here. Maybe I should concentrate. Okay, so wait. I'll take advantage of the Green Arrow. Not the DC character, but the traffic signal. I would not take advantage of the Green Arrow. So like I said, that comes with a couple of complications. Not major ones, just, complications nonetheless. Secondly, as I mentioned, it was an online radio show. So if you wanted to hear the Intoxication Nation, you had to go open up the player while we were broadcasting in order to hear it. Now, we did, save the show to a hard drive and then upload it later, but that didn't change the format. It was still very much an online radio show. Literally nothing changed, so. With that, it was also about 2 hours long and about 25 to 50% music. Just straight up music, so. I don't want this street. I'm going to the gym. So, I don't want to do a 2-hour podcast. That's just entirely too much sitting and talking and then editing, recording, and all that junk and stuff. Entirely too much. I do not want to do that. Secondly, I don't want to take music breaks in a podcast because it seems disingenuous. That seems to me like something that you would do if you were doing a radio show, not a podcast. With a podcast, you turn it on, you listen to it until it's done, and then you do something else. There's no breaks or anything else. If you need to take a break, do a transition, and it's just say what you're going to say and fuck off. Say your line and fuck off, and you just do it. Just do the thing and get it over with. Oh, this is an interesting neighborhood. I decided to take a detour. So basically, that's the complications with the Intoxication Nation. The topics we think are going to be a little bit different. We're not, mostly just pop culture shit, but in a fairly structured way. Really not sure how that's going to affect like the branding and the content, because I want to have it all cohesive, because the Intoxication Nation sounds like a place where you tune in to like learn about the physics of beer and stuff. It doesn't sound like a place where you go to talk about, okay, so here's what I thought, spoilers about this week's episode of The Flash. It just seems like that's not the sort of thing that you would tune in to hear on the Intoxication Nation. You would be like tuning in to learn about homebrew kits and alcohol contents and the difference between Scotch whiskey and Irish whiskey, which I can actually tell you that, but that's not the purpose of the show. That's not what we're doing. Fun fact, at one point while we were doing the Intoxication Nation, 2 of my co-hosts were too young to drink. So we had 2 people on a show called Intoxication Nation who could not legally be intoxicated. How weird is that? So they were like 19, 20 at the time. But hey, that was almost 10 years ago at this point, so they're probably veteran drinkers now. Maybe I should look them up. I don't know. So, my former co-hosts appear to be down. Psycho is definitely in. I have not got positive confirmation from the other person, but I'm hoping to hear back positive things. In other news, the hell? Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm near an airport. So, ooh, look at the puppy. Yo, look at your puppy. Yo, I want to pet that dog. For the paranormal podcast, I don't know what's going to happen with that just yet. There are some questions that I have that have not been answered. I don't know where things are at. One of the main guy had a health issue, and I don't know how that's going to affect it. So, with that being said, not knowing the status of that, but knowing exactly what that's going to be for and about, I can put that on the back burner without worrying that I won't be able to do the thing. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? There you go. That sucks. Had to wait for a green light to turn right. You may have that problem in your state, but we don't in mine. That's one of the few things that I actually do like about Oklahoma. We can turn right on a red light, and the weather is, at the very least, variable. Except in the summer, when it's just 100% of the time, balls out, stupid, ridiculous hot. It's like, we get 3 nice days a year here, the rest of the time it's 700 fucking degrees, first above 0 and then below. But, with that being said, I'm pulling into the parking lot, the gym, and that's going cool too. I've actually, I don't know that I've lost like numerical physical weight, but the amount of weight that I'm able to push around on the machines in there is going up. So in a lot of cases it's doubled with certain muscle groups. But with that being said, I'm here. I got about 9 minutes on the counter, and I really have to pee. So with that being said, I'm 3D. This was Tales from the Driver's Seat, and I will see you next time.